Hi everyone, my name is Michael and welcome back to my channel. I am going to tell you about the books I've got for my birthday. Sorry this video is a little bit late. I have 8 books that I got for my birthday, plus I have 4 that I picked up from Free Little Libraries, the red phone boxes if you're from the UK. But first, I'm going to let you know what I've been currently reading. An author off of TikTok I reached out to because I saw he had just published his first book, his debut novel, and that's this one here. And he was so kind in sending me a copy for review, and that is A Handful of Souls by Stephen Rice. I've read through this one pretty quickly. I've only got about 21 pages left, so I'll be finishing that tonight as of recording. This is book 1 of the Split Sea trilogy, I think it's going to be. The back says, "Mud, gold and lies. That's all you'll get in Brunera. You'll find no better expert on these things than Lily Kate Tolworth. Yet she has no clue of the events already in motion around her. Weeks ago, a murderer with a bleeding grin was released from the mountain head. Lily doesn't know this pale-skinned giant has been writing to her. She doesn't even know he's coming to find her. But as her father, Husker Tolworth feels like it's his right. Days ago, a tax patrol was slaughtered. Lily doesn't know her brother's corpse was pulled from a ditch. Stolen by a man who can raise the dead. Lark Cale Tolworth will follow this bizarre scholar to the Southlands, and he will forget how many times he's died. Hours ago, an informant showed Lily's stepfather an incriminating note. Brunera has taxed its villagers too hard. An uprising is massing in the Northlands, and they have a noose with Joseph Cale's name on it. At this very moment, Joseph is frantically packing their coach, while Lily is drinking whiskey in a brothel. She's met the arrogant idiot who will be their guide south. She doesn't know he has a hollow soul filled with thousands of spirits. She doesn't know his mouth is filled with as many lies. But if there are 3 things Lily is good at, it's mud, gold, and lies. Now, if you are at all interested in necromancy, I would say definitely pick this up. It's used in a way I have not read before. To be honest, I haven't read much fantasy books with necromancy in, but to me this is a different twist on necromancy. So I've got 4 books that I got from Free Little Libraries. 3 of them are pretty small, and you've got one that's a bit chunkier. So the first one is Alien by Alan Dean Foster. I think this might be like movie cover, not the best to be honest, a bit bland. It's got the little alien egg on it. With a crew of 7 and a cargo of 2 billion tons of fossil fuels, the deep space tug crawled across the outer reaches of the galaxy. Whilst the computer guided the ship, the humans slept until the Nostromo's scanners picked up a garbled distress call from a remote and long-dead planet. And all the technology of the future could not shield them from the nightmare of today, for on the planet something stirred. Now, I've seen the films of these, but I'm very interested in seeing how well this was adapted. I don't remember if the book was written first or if the script for the film was written first, but I'm very interested. This might go straight on my TBR, to be honest. It's nice and short, so if I've got space in between some of my bigger series that I'm reading, like a few of Brandon Sanderson's ones, Terry Brooks, I'm like 9 books into his Shannara set, and if you've heard about the Shannara set, you know just how big it is. I've got it just down here, this shelf and that shelf. It actually carries on going right to the end. So I've got 2 books here by Suzanne Hill. The first one I'm going to show you is a very nice little hardback. It's got feels like the whole cover's like embossed, like the details are raised, the title's raised, and even her name is raised. So this is The Small Hand, a ghost story. I haven't read much horror or thrillers. So the back of this one says, "I stood in the dim green lit clearing, and above my head a silver pairing of moon cradled the evening star. The birds had fallen silent. There was not the slightest stirring of the air, and as I stood, I felt a small hand creep into my right one, as if a child had come up beside me in the dimness and taken hold of it." To be honest, I have not heard of this one before. This next one I think most people would have heard of, because Also, there's a film released a few years ago now. That's Daniel Radcliffe in it, which will give you a hint of the next one. As it's spooky season coming up, I might put that on my reading list for October. But I did study this next one in school because I played the lead character, Daniel Radcliffe's character, when I was at school in a school play. I can't remember much of the script that I had to say. I very much enjoyed the film though. That was rather creepy. It got me in a few places. And that is The Woman in Black. Arthur Kipps, a junior solicitor, is summoned to attend the funeral of Mrs. Alice Drablow, the sole inhabitant of Eelmarsh House. Unaware of the tragic secrets which lie hidden behind the sheltered windows, the house stands at the end of a causeway, wreathed in fog and mystery. But it is not until he glimpses a wasted young woman, dressed all in black, at the funeral, that a creeping sense of unease begins to take hold, a feeling deepened by the reluctance of the locals to talk of the woman in black and her terrible purpose. I think by this point, most people would have probably heard about The Woman in Black, whether they learned it through school like I did, through drama class, or watched the film, or have read the book. So if you've read any of these books, please comment below. I'd enjoy talking to you about them. Please no spoilers though. I have not read basically all of these, apart from obviously just about to finish that one. If you have read this one, as it's his debut book, again, comment below. I'd very much like to know what you've all thought about it, and if I can, I'll let him know. So the next one is Gates of Fire, and that's an epic novel of the Battle of Thermopylae by Stephen Pressfield. Now, I just picked this one off the shelf because it is about the Greeks. Me and my girlfriend, Starry-Eyed Sophie, on YouTube, we both love anything to do with Greeks, like Greek myth. We love all the Norse stuff and a lot of stuff to do with history. We like reading either true facts about them points in time, or even a fantasy book that has little twists in it, or embellishes more on the fantastical, magical side. So, nearly 2,500 years ago, in 4080 BC, at a bleak pass where the mountains meet the sea in a far-flung corner of eastern Greece, 300 Spartan warriors faced the invading army of King Xerxes of Persia, a massive force rumoured to be between 1 and 2 million strong. Their orders were simple: to delay the enemy for as long as possible while the main Greek armies mobilized. For 6 desperate days, the Spartans held the invaders at bay. In the final hours, their shields broken, swords and spears shattered, they fought with their bare hands and teeth before being overwhelmed. The name of this battle would reverberate down through the millennia, a name which has become synonymous with near superhuman courage, heroism and self-sacrifice: Thermopylae. In the aftermath of that epic struggle, a lone Greek soldier is discovered, barely alive, amidst the carnage, and is brought to the Persian king for interrogation. Gates of Fire is his extraordinary story. As he tells his tale, he paints a remarkable portrait of the Spartans, their legendary way of life and death, and of the men and women who helped shape our history and have themselves become as immortal as their gods. Now that sounds right up my street, and I'm sure my girlfriend will be picking this up at some point as well. Again, looking forward to that one. Obviously all these books I'm looking forward to. So we're now on to what I got for my birthday. So I'll start with the 3 books that my beautiful girlfriend got me, and I've got a stack of 5 books that come as a set that I got from my parents. I also got 3 items book related. I got 2 from my sister and a big one from my girlfriend. First book that I got from my girlfriend was Master of One. We both saw another booktuber talk about this on their channel, and we both thought this was right up our street. I think it is a YA. Life in the Queen City isn't easy, especially for a 2-bit thief like Rags. When his latest score goes sideways, he's nabbed by royal sorcerer Morian the Last, who forces him to steal the 6 pieces of the immeasurably powerful ancient Fey relic. Rags is still determined to somehow get away unscathed, until he discovers that the relic Morian is after are actually people. A distractingly handsome Fey prince who has been asleep for centuries. A Queen's Guard deserter with more honour than common sense. A daughter of a disgraced noble family who hits first and asks questions later. A deceptively sweet-natured prince. A member of the underground resistance, neither trusting nor trustworthy. And him, meaning Rags. There is no way they can let Morian enact his dark plans. But 6 misfits against an exceptionally wicked enemy doesn't make for generous odds. Luckily, Rags is not generous. He's smart. And he has a plan that might work. So this is by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. And the back says, "Welcome to the Queen's City, a terrible place to live, an excellent place to die." The next book she got me finishes off a trilogy. This will be the 4th trilogy I've got from this author. I have read 2 of his trilogies already, and it is Mark Lawrence. This is book 3 in the Book of the Ice series, The Girl and the Moon. I have not started the other 2 yet. As I've read 2 of his series already, I know that if I start reading the first one, I'm just going to want to blow through the entire trilogy, so I have waited until I have got the full trilogy. Now I have. There's no excuse for me to not to start it. So, this is the 3rd book of the Ice. The green world overwhelms all of Yaz's expectations. Everything seems different, but something remains the same. Her old enemies are still bent on her destruction. The corridor abounds with plenty and unexpected danger. To stand a chance against the eyeless priest Ular and the godlike city mind, Cease, Yaz will need to learn fast and make new friends. The Covenant of Sweet Mercy, like the corridor itself, is packed with peril and opportunity. Yaz needs the nuns' help, but first they want to execute her. The fate of everyone squeezed between the corridor's vast walls, and ultimately the fate of those labouring to survive out on the ice itself, hangs from the moon. And the battle to save the moon centres on the Ark of the Missing. Buried beneath the Emperor's palace, everyone wants Yaz to be the key that will open the Ark. The one the wise will have sought for generations, but sometimes wanting isn't enough. I am terribly excited to read this trilogy. There's another trilogy, The Red Queen's War, that I also haven't read, so I'm excited. I've got 2 potentially amazing trilogies to read there. The next book that my girlfriend got me, Joe Abercrombie, The Heroes. This is one of 3 standalones that are set between the First Law trilogy, his first 3 books, and the Age of Madness. These 3 I don't think are continuing storylines of characters from the original 3. I think I heard that a couple of the characters do pop up, but it is set in the same world. Every fantasy lover loves a map, and to have it on the outside is absolutely beautiful. We also have a beautiful red map on the inside. Which I'll be poring over as I read, following along on the journey. So, this one's very long. They say Black Dows killed more men than Winter, and clawed his way to the throne of the North up on the Hill of Skulls. The King of the Union, ever a jealous neighbour, is not about to stand smiling by while he claws his way any higher. The orders have been given, and the armies are toiling through the northern mud. Thousands of men are converging on a forgotten ring of stones, on a worthless hill, in an unimportant valley, and they have brought a lot of sharpened metal with them. Bremner Dan Gorst, disgraced master swordsman, has sworn to reclaim his stolen honour on the battlefield. Obsessed with redemption and addicted to violence, he is far past caring how much blood gets spilled in the attempt, even if it's his own. Prince Calder isn't interested in honour, and still less in getting himself killed. All he wants is power, and he'll tell any lie, use any trick, and betray any friend to get it, just as long as he doesn't have to fight for it himself. Curdin Craw, the last honest man in the North, has gained nothing from a life of warfare but swollen knees and frayed nerves. He hardly even cares who wins anymore. He just wants to do the right thing, but can he even tell what that is without the world burning down around him? Over 3 bloody days of battle, the fate of the North will be decided, but with both sides riddled by intrigues, follies, feuds, and petty jealousies, it is unlikely to be the noblest hearts or even the strongest arms that prevail. Now, Joe Abercrombie is one of my favourite authors, even though I have only read the first Law trilogy, but I do love a bit of grimdark. But as Joe Abercrombie is the Lord Grimdark himself, this will be going right up to the top of my list. All 3 of the standalones will be, and then I'll go on to the Age of Madness trilogy. So the next set of books I received from my parents for my birthday, and that is, if you can't tell already because I just leaked it, the first 5 books of the Red Rising series. Now, I'm not going to read all these out. One, that'll take forever. I'll keep stumbling over my words like I have been so far, but I will read the first one. And as it's the Red Rising series, the Earth is dying. Darrow is a Red, a miner in the interior of Mars. His mission is to extract enough precious elements to one day tame the surface of the planet and allow humans to live on it. The Reds are humanity's last hope, or so it appears, until the day Darrow discovers it is all a lie. That Mars has been habitable and inhabited for generations by a class of people calling themselves the Golds, a class of people who look down at Darrow and his fellows as slave labour, to be exploited and worked to death without a second thought. Until the day Darrow, with the help of a mysterious group of rebels, disguises himself as a Gold and infiltrates their command school, intent on taking down his oppressors from the inside. But the command school is a battlefield, and Darrow isn't the only student with an agenda. So as far as I've heard on BookTube, this series is a mind-bogglingly amazing series, but a lot of booktubers have struggled with this first one, saying it's not the best one, but keep pressing through. So I will do that. It is the smallest of the 5. He seems to get bigger with each next installment, slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the 5 books in this set, obviously, are Red Rising. Book 2 is Golden Sun. Then we have the Morning Star, Iron Gold, and Dark Age. And I heard this, I think, on Mike's Book Reviews, another fellow booktuber, that we thought we were getting a 6th one, and that would be the end of the series, but apparently he's writing 2 more. So I'm happy to have more sci-fi fantasy. Bigger the set, the happier I think a lot of us are, to be honest. There we are. But yeah, those are the books I got for my birthday. I have 3 more things to show. First one being a mug. And it says, yes, I really do need all these books. I think we'll all agree with that. As book collectors, we all need all of these books. We want a library. Nothing wrong with that. Some people might see it as hoarding, but me and my girlfriend don't. So thank you to my sister for that one. This next one I've got to get out of the book I'm reading, because here's a little bookmark. Here's a little stainless steel bookmark. Don't know if you can read it. On the little tassel it has a little silver feather. On it says, drink good coffee and read good books. So I definitely love good books, and I love my coffee, so it's perfect for me. Plus I keep breaking my bookmarks, so this one's a bit more robust. So last item my girlfriend got me, and as you all know, my YouTube page is called The Wandering Wizard. What wizard can be without his staff? My girlfriend got me the staff of Gandalf from The Hobbit. So apart from, besides having no magic at all, I have my staff. I'm definitely the Wandering Wizard. And if you have read any of these books and enjoyed them, or even if you didn't enjoy them, please leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.